Hello and welcome to the next part of the Deep Rising Introductory Training course. In the last video we went through creating a whole scene. We simulated it and meshed it, but I didn't go into the details of actually running it through the mesh sequencer. But it's actually pretty straightforward, so this is going to be a short video. So yeah, let's get started. So I've got an MTC. Sequencer is a separate plugin from Lightwave. Actually, it's the same sequencer that comes in the demo. So once you've meshed your scenes and you've got your mesh sequence on the disk, you can use it anywhere pretty much. So you're not restricted. You're not restricted to using it in Deep Rising, for example. So what you need to do to get started is an object. So for example, if I add a null to the scene and I go to properties and I try to add the sequencer, it will tell me it only works with saved Lightwave objects. Now this is important because the sequencer needs geometry to start to work off. It can't just create geometry, it needs geometry already there. So the best thing to do is to create an object, save it out, any object, just any simple object. I've got a plane here. Load it into the scene, go to properties and add the sequencer. So no problems there. Okay, so I'll just go through the settings. You've got the surface name, surface library, and file. All the surface name it's the surface name. For example, if I go to the surface editor, it's the name of the surface that it will reference. For example, here it's ground plane. As you can see, okay, so if it by default it references the default surface, so I'm gonna go ahead. So the surface library, you can use any surface library. So if you save out a surface library, you can use one here. So I don't have any, but oh yeah, on the surfaces, so if you've got any surface libraries, you can use those. So I've got several here that I've been using. You can just click on it and it will load. And then of course you've got the file, and I'm gonna load a very rough sequence I did a long time ago. And for this one I exported it as an asset binary, so this is the default format for Deep Rising. The advantage of this format is it's not a text file format, it's binary, so it's going to take up less space on your hard disk. So all you have to do is just select any of these and then press load, then press continue, and you will see your polygons would have been created here. So, and this is what we get. We'll just extend this. So what you can just click on any frame to see what your mesh sequence looks like. But most likely you're going to have a lot of polygons, like 100 and quite a few thousand polygons in the scene. So you won't be able to scrub like you're able to do with the particles, of course, which isn't the problem. All you have to do is just make a mesh sequence. So I've prepared one here to show you what it looks like when it's done. So I just press play. And voila, that's what you get. It's very straightforward, and yeah, this will render out pretty much with no problems in Lightwave. Oh, and yeah, I can just show you quickly changing the surface. So an advantage of this versus using something like an object sequence, you can change the surface dynamically. So if you've got a surface library, for example, you can just go back to properties and once again go to this and then just choose something and just say load and continue. And if you go to another frame, it will give you a new surface, for example. So if I just do a VBR of this, it's actually just red wine. So yeah, and that's about it. It's very straightforward, and you can use it anywhere. Once you've surfaced your meshes out, you can use it, export it anywhere. You don't need a actual copy of Deep Rising or anything like that. Okay, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.